I had the pleasure of seeing Strange Darling this past weekend, and I am so excited to talk about it. I've sat down multiple times to write my thoughts out, and they all get so jumbled and incohesive that I don't know what to say. So forgive me, I might jump around a little bit here. Speaking of jumping around. And I think, that's how I really feel about Strange Darling. J.T. Molnar, with the help of Giovanni Ribisi, created a visually striking and structurally brilliant film that feels like nothing else I've seen this year. Both Kyle Gallner and Willa Fitzgerald deliver some incredibly complicated and compelling performances. I hope I've laid all my thoughts out in a good way that would compel you to go see it as well. Thanks for watching. Strange Darling's letterbox description says, "Nothing is what it seems when a twisted one-night stand spirals into a serial killer's vicious murder spree." And that's a fantastic way to set this movie up for those who know nothing about it. I hope you've clicked off the video by now if you haven't seen it, but hopefully some people find this video later on once it's on streaming or people are finally getting around to it, because in order to talk about why I love this movie so much, I do need to bring up a couple things. First, I'd like to say to Kyle Gallner, you are doing some great work with zero credit being thrown your way for now, but deserves quite a bit of praise for his last couple of years working. He's been an actor for a long time. I remember him from Jennifer's Body specifically, but as he's aged up, the roles he's taking have been steadily filling out his on-screen persona. I think he's quietly putting in A+ work over and over again, and I now put him among other contemporaries like Christopher Abbott or Logan Marshall Green. They are that guys that are really him, if that makes sense. Dinner in America and The Cleansing Hour are some of my favorite Kyle Gallner movies, and I'm so excited to watch Mother May I tonight once I'm done recording this. But believe it or not, Kyle Gallner isn't even the standout in this movie. That easily goes to Willa Fitzgerald, who, okay, I cannot hold back anymore. The thing Strange Darling accomplishes is what I want to call an elongated twist. The movie has a twist, but like as a verb, not a noun. Strange Darling just twists. The film is told in 6 chapters, as it boldly proclaims in the opening title cards, along with the subtle flex that the film was shot on 35mm. And then the movie proceeds to deliver these chapters out of order. Chapter 3, then 6, then 2, and so on. These chapters vary wildly in tone, because we as the viewer have no idea what we are supposed to be thinking at whatever point in the story we're dropped into. This allows us to just sit back and let the movie take you. Let these actors take you. Most of this film is spent with our 2 leads as they spend the night together, from the bar to the car to the motel room to their sexuality and deep conversations, and ultimately to the lines they will or won't cross to get what they want. Kyle Gallner's name is listed as the Demon and Willa Fitzgerald as the Lady. This all sounds a little rapey, and part of it is, but not the part you think. Willa Fitzgerald, in a performance both unhinged and calculated, slowly reveals herself through behavior, and whenever the chapter that reveals it comes, to be the serial killer the movie has up to this point been convincing and tricking you is Kyle Gallner as the Demon. This movie is deceptively simple. She's the killer, he's a cop, like off-duty, they meet, she strings him along this dark path until he's too uncomfortable, and then she tries to kill him. He survives and now wants revenge for the suffering she caused him, cat and mouse. But if you've seen Tom and Jerry, the mouse knows how to throw down just as hard as any cat, they're pussy. The pace this movie has also is a benefit to its structure. Keeping that singular twist slowly turning and plunging deeper into you allows everything on screen to be compelling. Every chapter asks a question that another chapter answers. I know I'm being awfully melodramatic with the wording here, but it's just how I felt by the time the credits rolled. Okay, do you remember like all those knockoff movies that came out in the wake of Pulp Fiction, and every screenwriter suddenly wanted to write like every character is the coolest guy in the room? Some I do really like, such as Freeway, Go, and Get Shorty. Freeway actually is maybe the best possible double feature with Strange Darling. It's just as nasty for its own reasons. This movie feels like those kinds of movie-ass movies where people are acting like characters and everything they say and do is done on purpose and was in the screenplay for a reason, and everything comes to a head and makes the whole movie come to a satisfying conclusion of all its themes. I don't know, I guess it's just been a while since I've seen a movie that is so upfront with you about just being a movie. Reminder of the 35mm flex at the start of the film, as well as these character names and description of the plot at the beginning that is unnecessary but is kind of valuable by the end. It's playful, even with its violence, with its kills. It's never so over the top that it's comedy, but the humor that is there feels of a piece with the nasty violence and abhorrent humanity we are being forced to hang out with like everything's cool. By flashing back and forth between chapters, we get more and more whiplash because the performances and dialogue are so good, they're able to trick you even after you think you understand something. It flips again. You know, it must be tough to be a director that has made a feature before already, but whose newest film is so clearly leagues above it in craft and just overall quality. It's not a sophomore slump, it's like a sophomore jump or pump. I don't know, let me know what feels better to you in the comments. As far as the Giovanni Ribisi of it all, the film does look incredible, and even though I do find it a little unnecessary to tell people it's shot on 35mm at the start of your movie, I mean, I don't know if I've seen a movie do that, and when the movie is this good, I mean, talk your shit, Giovanni. Strange Darling is just such a good-ass movie, man. I wanted the title for this video to be Strange Darling is Barbarian for Guys, more just as a joke, but also in reality, kind of, because this movie has some real brass balls to convey the message it does, not because it's wrong, but it's just not something people talk about very often, probably because it's not helpful to the cause, and I agree, but Strange Darling says, f your cause, because you know what would be scary? To have a quirky, intelligent, liberal, blonde white girl be a psychopathic murder demon who physically and mentally tortures a relatively innocent man, and every time she might get stopped, she weaponizes her innocent looks and how everything looks, and literally everybody falls for it, including us. I need to rewatch before I would speak more on what the movie's really saying, but I like that the messaging is morally muddy, especially in the final scene, and it is movie gold if you like this kind of stuff. And yeah, that's really how I feel about Strange Darling. J.T. Molnar, with the help of Giovanni Ribisi, created a visually striking and structurally brilliant film that feels like nothing else I've seen this year. Both Kyle Gallner and especially Willa Fitzgerald deliver some incredibly complicated and compelling performances. One of my favorite movies of the year, and I can't wait to see it again. Let me know what you guys liked or didn't about the movie down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Less than good, it's better than worse.